Good morning, gang. Happy bright and early Thursday morning, about 6 o'clock for me. So, rolling around here. Actually, have to talk to another potential client this morning to see if they want to work with me. And of course, the one question I'm going to ask, and that will make a decision if I want to work with them. So, I want to pose something to you. Let's just say, okay, in a perfect world, that all of a sudden all the ills in the world miraculously go away. Inflation stops, the dollar gets stronger, China decides they want to be friends with the world. Communism, the idea of communism completely collapses everywhere, and we actually have a euphoric world. Okay, yes, I know it'll never happen, but play with me here for a second. All those things that we prep for, okay? The economic, the war, the EMP, the God knows what, okay? Any calamity that can be. If none of those existed, I guarantee you there is going to be another rainstorm in your life. It's gonna rain, okay? You're gonna have a job loss. You're gonna have a death in the family. You're going to have some sort. You can tell it's early. You're going to have some sort of catastrophe, at least on a personal level, for yourself. Okay. And that's the other thing that we prep for. And it doesn't get talked about that much because everybody talks about the zombie apocalypse or the complete collapse of the world or something like that. Without rule of law, Teowaki, whatever would be. I mean, and those are possibilities. But in my scenario here, if it's just a personal SHTF, somehow you got to get through that too. I want to pose a challenge to everybody, maybe homework for the weekend, okay? And this is sitting down, being completely honest with yourself, because I will say this. As a prepper, if you are not 100% honest with yourself, you are doomed to fail. All right, and I'll just give you this. Oh, I don't have to worry about going out and practicing with my rifle because my skills are good. I was in the Army 20 years ago. Okay, oh, I've got enough. Okay, oh, I don't have to worry about practicing gardening or whatever it is. It's just a matter of putting seeds in the ground and watering it. How hard could it be? Okay, that's not being honest with yourself. Sit down, piece of paper, maybe the family, and do a little exercise. 2 columns, strengths and weaknesses. What are your strengths? You've got a mag built. You've got 10 people in the mag. You've found a doctor or an electrician, whatever it would be. Cool. You're a master gardener. You've got a complete solar array set up. You don't even need to add to it. You could run your entire house just on solar. Strengths. Okay, great. Positive reinforcement. Also make a column for weaknesses. And weaknesses are a little more than what you just think. Okay, and I'm going to give you this. Sure, weaknesses. I only have 3 months worth of food stored. Okay. I don't have a mag. Okay. I don't have backup heat. I don't have backup power. If the electricity goes out, I'm screwed, whatever it would be. Okay. But also get into some of the other stuff. I owe $12,000 on my credit cards. My car's not paid off. I don't have a water source. They could be bigger ones. And the reason I say this is because it's gonna rain. And that weakness column needs an umbrella over it. So you need to figure out that is your roadmap of where you need to go prepping. Okay. Prepping is not just going to Walmart and buying all the latest cool toys and more food. That's a start, okay? That's basically about step 2 in a 5-step journey to make, is getting your food. Go through that list and figure out how you can turn those weaknesses into strengths. That is your roadmap. I only have 2 months worth of food. Okay, great. I got to get that up to a year. Start working on it. Okay. I don't have my water situation figured out. Okay. That tells you right there. You got it on paper. Okay. It will tell you and your family what needs to be done. Put it up on the refrigerator for everybody to look at it. It's also another way to open up the conversation with those people in the house who think, this isn't that important, blah, 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 blah. Because they're going to look at that piece of paper on the fridge and go, what do you mean we need solar? And you start the conversation, you go, so what is your plan if the power goes out for a month? For a week? Okay. Have you ever been through a week-long power outage? It's different. I will say that. Okay. And all of a sudden they'll start to look at, hubby, you just put a deer in the freezer, right? What if we lose power for a week? Do you want that deer to disappear because it rots? Well, of course not. Okay. What are you going to do? You going to pedal a bicycle to keep the power going? Not that you couldn't put a bicycle generator together, but you know what I'm saying. It'll open up the conversation. Now, I'll give you a quick story. One of my weaknesses, I know it, is my mag is not big enough by a long shot, okay? It has a lot to do with where I live, the fact that there's not a whole lot of people around, et cetera, and we need more skills. I know this. Property next to me. I knew somebody had bought it a while back. The other day, somebody's out there putting little flags up. So I'm kind of paying attention. I figured it was the guy that bought the lot. Didn't know maybe it was an excavator or something, but it looked like they were going to get ready to do something. So yesterday I'm out working in the gardens, basically mowing the lawn and taking all the grass clippings and throwing it in my garden, working in the gardens. And he was out there, so I stopped over, introduced myself, sat down and talked and everything like that. Talked with him for probably a good half an hour. He told me a little bit about where he's from, why he moved out here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he says, boy, you have a lot of gardens. And I'm like, yeah. I said, the whole point is the more I can grow, the less I have to buy. And again, I'm kind of hinting a little bit as to ideas. Out of the sheer blue at one point, he goes, yeah, I'm betting, living out here, you probably have a whole bunch of food stored. And I'm like, yeah, I got the gardens, everything like that. He goes, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of food stored too. He was feeling me out while I was feeling him out to see if the guy's a prepper. Okay. First impressions, he might be. Okay. Certainly wasn't saying, wasn't one of these guys that says, oh, what are you wasting your time gardening for? Now, doesn't mean I've vetted him, doesn't mean I know the guy well or anything like that. And I mean, over time, I will get to know him. But it was an opportunity there to kind of bring something in, to kind of feel somebody out and see, hey, is this somebody that I might be able to count on in the future? Working on one of my weaknesses, okay, the mag. Also, just doing other things. Turns out the guy is a builder, okay? And so, I was talking about putting a pond in and everything's like, oh, he goes, I've got the excavation equipment, everything like that. He goes, let me take a look. He says, I can give you a bid on that. Okay, I've already got a bid from a couple other companies to do it next year. We'll see what this guy says. Who knows? It's working on your weaknesses. If you have them written down, you can work on them. It's not something that you just go, you know what? I know it's there. It's like you got to look at it every day. It's like, crap, that thing's still on the weakness column on the fridge when I go to get the milk for my coffee every morning. So that's what I challenge you guys to do. Be totally honest with yourself. Sit down, make a list. Your strengths, your weaknesses. Be honest and start working on those weaknesses, because it's gonna rain somehow, some way. Big picture, little picture, whatever. But nobody's life is wine and roses all the way through. Something's going to happen. If you work on the weaknesses now, you don't have to worry about them later. Have a good Thursday morning. Pinball out.